Have you ever felt that shiver run down your spine? That feeling there's got to be something more to life than we see with our eyes, that there's this invisible energy connecting us to everything.
It's like, a kind of cosmic internet.
Right. Welcome to the Quantum Soul Channel. Get ready, because today we are diving deep into an extraordinary journey. We're exploring the mysteries of the human soul through the lens of chakras and subtle planes. And Neil's story, a seeker like you, will be our map in this adventure.
Imagine if you could access parts of yourself you didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Like every fiber of your being vibrating in tune with the universe. Neil's journey shows us that this connection is not just a fantasy, it's a real possibility.
I love that.
Yeah, we're about to uncover this ancient knowledge that can actually transform your understanding of reality.
Exactly. Today we'll be following Neil's fascinating soul evolution, from his first intuitive experiences with a simple pendulum to reaching states of profound unity and expanded consciousness. Have you ever wondered if there are levels of consciousness beyond our everyday understanding?
It's a question that I think a lot of people have.
Yeah.
A lot of people ponder that.
If it's even possible to experience this cosmic interconnection and unravel the true nature of your essence.
Well, Neil walked that path.
Yeah.
And his story illuminates our own search.
It does. Our mission in this deep dive is clear. We want to understand how Neil went from a rudimentary instrument like a pendulum to experiencing non-duality.
Right.
Awakening his higher energy centers and connecting with different dimensions of existence.
Different planes of existence, yeah.
We believe that Neil's journey offers valuable insights for your own journey of spiritual growth.
It does.
So let's start unraveling this incredible story. Neil was an explorer of consciousness, someone who felt a deep thirst for understanding reality beyond the veil of the ordinary.
I like that. Beyond the veil of the ordinary.
And it all started with a seemingly simple object.
A pendulum. The use of a pendulum, it might seem elementary, but for Neil, it was the gateway to developing his intuition.
Right.
He learned to refine his intention, realizing how these subtle movements of his hand could generate significant responses.
It is fascinating to think that a pendulum can be more than just a swinging weight.
Yeah.
Right. Some people believe it acts as a channel for our unconscious, maybe even capturing information from the quantum field.
What's intriguing is how intention seems to influence the movement of the pendulum.
Right.
Could it be that our micro movements are tuned to this wider field of information? Some quantum physics theorists postulate that everything is interconnected at a fundamental level. In that sense, the pendulum could be a tool for accessing that interconnection. Kind of like an antenna tuning into subtle frequencies.
A kind of key to unlock our intuitive perception.
I like that.
But Neil's journey took an unexpected turn. In his early 20s, he dedicated himself intensely to meditation, seeking enlightenment. But this quest led him to a mysterious illness. Was the universe trying to communicate something to him through this crisis? How did this challenging period end up driving his psychic discoveries?
That's a profound question. Many spiritual traditions see crises not as mere obstacles, but as potential catalysts for transformation. Neil's illness, although challenging, perhaps forced him to reassess his approach and seek a more balanced path. For you who are with us, reflect. Could the moments of pain and difficulty in your life also be disguised portals to a new level of understanding?
A perspective that invites us to introspect. After recovering, Neil continued his search, exploring various spiritual traditions: Mystical Judaism, Vedanta, Kundalini, and other Hindu practices.
That's quite a variety of traditions there.
It is. Each one of these traditions offered him different maps for the journey of the soul.
Right, each one with its own unique perspective and practices.
Yeah. What does each of these traditions offer uniquely with respect to understanding the soul and the divine?
Well, each of these traditions offers a unique lens to contemplate ultimate reality. Mystical Judaism, through Kabbalah, explores divine emanations and the hidden structure of the universe. Vedanta, one of the philosophical schools of Hinduism, emphasizes the non-duality between the individual soul, Atman, and the supreme reality, Brahman. Kundalini Yoga focuses on the awakening of a primordial energy that resides within us, seeking the expansion of consciousness. Each path, with its own metaphors and practices, contributed to the rich tapestry of Neil's spiritual understanding.
Fascinating how different paths can converge on the same quest.
I think so too.
And it was in this context that Neil met a Kundalini Master and delved deeper into the diamond approach. It was these influences that helped him awaken his higher chakras, leading to transformative experiences of unity and non-duality. He started feeling this deep connection with nearby objects like a tree, and this feeling expanded to encompass distant objects like the galaxy.
Wow, that's amazing.
What does it really mean to experience unity? How does this change our perception of self and the world?
The experience of unity transcends transcends mere intellectual understanding. It's a direct experience of the interconnectedness of everything. When Neil felt oneness with a tree, the boundary between the observer and the observed dissolved. This perception expanded to the galaxy, revealing the illusion of separation. This experience radically alters our view of reality, dissipating the sense of isolation and revealing a deep sense of belonging to a cosmic whole.
A dissolution of the boundaries of the ego.
Right.
That seems so liberating.
It can be.
And Neil's journey continued, leading him to the dissolution of other dualities, inside and outside, near and far, past and future. His knowledge expanded, including insights into past lives and even his rebirth in this life.
Wow.
What does it mean to access these memories of other existences? How can those memories help us understand our current journey and the patterns that repeat in our lives?
The idea of past lives, present in various Eastern philosophies, suggests that the soul goes through a cycle of incarnations, learning and evolving with each experience. For Neil, accessing these memories could have offered a broader context for his challenges and talents in this life, revealing the origin of certain inclinations and the nature of his relationships. The veracity of those memories is a debated topic, but the subjective impact on his understanding of himself and the continuity of consciousness was undoubtedly profound.
The depth of this journey is incredible.
It is.
And Neil also reported the ability to travel in subtle bodies to different planes of existence, even communicating with those who have passed.
Yes, that's a common experience in many spiritual traditions.
What exactly are these subtle bodies and these planes?
Right.
How can we access them? And on a fundamental level, what does it mean to converse with the realm of spirits?
The subtle bodies are often described as layers of energy or consciousness that coexist with our physical body.
Okay.
And the subtle planes are dimensions of reality that vibrate at different frequencies.
Right.
The astral plane, for example, is considered the first plane beyond the physical. It's accessible through altered states of consciousness. Communication with the deceased is linked to a belief in the persistence of consciousness after death and the possibility of interaction between different planes of existence.
A boundary that has always fascinated humanity.
Right.
The veil between life and death.
Absolutely.
And Neil's culminating experience was even more profound, a state of emptying of the mind and body, a union with the galaxy and with the subtle planes. He achieved a state of continuous bliss, living simultaneously in the duality of the physical world and the non-duality of cosmic consciousness.
Wow.
What does it mean to live in these two states at the same time? How can this perspective enrich our daily lives and bring us more peace and understanding?
Living in duality and non-duality simultaneously implies the ability to navigate the world of form with its distinctions and separations, while maintaining an underlying awareness of the fundamental unity of everything. This can bring a deep sense of acceptance, reduce the suffering caused by over-identification with the ego, and enrich our appreciation for the complexity and beauty of existence. It's a way of integrating the human experience with a broader understanding of reality.
Neil's journey shows us the immense potential for spiritual evolution that resides in each of us, and the fundamental role that chakras and subtle planes can play in this process. But, as we saw, this quest requires balance. Neil's intense search for enlightenment led him to neglect his health, a reminder that spirituality must integrate all dimensions of our being.
I agree. Neil's experience warns us of the dangers of an unbalanced spiritual quest. His illness can be seen as a process of spiritual detoxification.
Oh, okay.
A necessary time to integrate the experiences and return to a state of balance.
This idea of spiritual detoxification resonates deeply, and it reminds me of alchemy and the concept of nigredo, that phase of darkness and dissolution that precedes transformation. Could Neil's illness have represented his dark night of the soul, a period of deconstruction necessary for a new awakening?
The analogy with nigredo is apt. This period of darkness and challenge may have been crucial for old structures to dissolve, opening space for a new level of understanding and a more integrated approach to spirituality for Neil.
And it was after this challenging phase that Neil delved even deeper into the study of mystical Judaism, Vedanta, and Kundalini. He became a true archaeologist of the soul, seeking the universal truths that permeate diverse spiritual traditions, pointing to our intrinsic connection with the divine.
He realized that behind the different languages and practices, these traditions share a fundamental belief in a primordial energy that resides in every human being, whether it's the Shekinah in Kabbalah, the Atman in Vedanta, or the Kundalini Shakti. This energy represents our dormant divine potential. Neil's quest was essentially the awakening of this inner force.
And with the guidance of his Kundalini Master and the tools of the diamond approach, Neil finally awakened this primordial energy, directly experiencing unity with all of existence. He felt a deep connection with nature, with people, with the entire cosmos, transcending the illusion of separation. Faced with this experience, we can ask ourselves, was Neil becoming a kind of cosmic avatar, a being who embodies this profound connection with the universe?
That's a powerful reflection, and it leads us to consider the influence of consciousness on reality. Quantum physics teaches teaches us that the observer influences the observed. Could Nir's deep awareness of unity somehow be shaping his reality? And if that's true, what is our own potential to influence the world around us through our consciousness?
A truly inspiring perspective. And Neil's exploration didn't stop there. He also ventured into the subtle planes, reporting experiences of astral projection and communication with entities from other dimensions. These experiences in the subtle planes raise profound questions about the nature of consciousness beyond physical life and the possibility of interaction with other realities.
Although science does not yet have the tools to fully investigate these phenomena, accounts like Neil's invite us to keep an open mind and explore the frontiers of our understanding of existence.
We've reached a crucial point in our journey. Now let's delve into the fascinating world of chakras and discover how these energy centers can be portals to our own spiritual evolution.
Get ready to uncover the ancient wisdom of the chakras and how they can guide us towards a deep awakening of consciousness.
Okay, and what if you could unlock levels of perception that would transform your life in unimaginable ways?
In the next few minutes, we will explore the 7 main chakras, their attributes, and how they relate to Neil's journey and our own spiritual growth.
I love it.
The chakras are centers of vibrant energy located along our spine. Each of them is associated with a color, an element, specific organs of the body, and a particular set of emotions and aspects of our consciousness. It's as if they were wheels of energy spinning and distributing life force within our being. Interestingly, studies suggest that these energy centers emit electromagnetic frequencies that can be measured and that can be influenced by practices such as meditation and energy healing.
Oh, wow.
We can think of the chakras as antennas that receive and transmit information from the energy field that surrounds it.
It's fascinating, this idea that our energy centers vibrate at specific frequencies and can interact with the universal energy field.
Right.
So, let's explore each of the 7 main chakras, starting from the base of our spine. The root chakra, or Muladhara, red in color, connects us to the earth, representing our security, stability, and survival. Neil, at the beginning of his journey, was seeking this solid foundation.
Exactly. The root chakra anchors us in the physical world. Above it, just below the navel, resides the sacral chakra, or Svadhisthana, radiating the color orange. This center is the seat of our creativity, our emotions, and our sexuality. By balancing this chakra, Neil was able to release emotional blocks and express his creative nature more fluidly.
Rising to the stomach area, we find the solar plexus chakra, or Manipura, shining in yellow. This chakra is the center of our personal power, our self-confidence, and our ability to act with determination. Neil worked to strengthen this center, learning to trust himself and manifest his will in the world.
In the center of the chest, vibrating in the color green, and also associated with pink, is the heart chakra, or Anahata. It is the abode of unconditional love, compassion, empathy, and connection with other beings. The opening of this chakra in Neil's journey allowed him to experience a deep and non-judgmental love.
Beautiful. Moving to the throat, we find the throat chakra, or Vishuddha, sky blue in color. This center governs our communication, our ability to express the truth, both internally and externally. By working this chakra, Neil was able to communicate his experiences and insights with clarity and authenticity.
Between the eyebrows resides the third eye chakra, or Ajna, shining in indigo. This is the center of our intuition, our extrasensory perception, and our ability to access wisdom beyond logic. Neil's years of meditative practice refined the perception of this important center. Insight. Cultivate your intuition through regular silent contemplation. Pay attention to subtle hunches and gut feelings, as this is your inherent guidance system.
I like that.
And finally, at the top of the head, radiating violet or white light, we find the crown chakra, or Sahasrara. This is the portal to our spirituality, our connection with the divine and with universal consciousness. The opening of this chakra in Neil's experience led him to those states of unity and non-duality that transformed his perception of reality. Insight. Connect with the divine through meditation and contemplation of nature. Seek moments of silence to transcend thought and feel the vastness of consciousness.
What a journey.
It is.
We can remember the functions of each chakra with this brief reflection.
Right.
The root chakra connects you to the earth. The sacral chakra gives you pleasure and creativity. The solar plexus chakra gives you personal power. The heart chakra gives you love and compassion. The throat chakra gives you communication. The third eye chakra gives you intuition. And the crown chakra connects you to the divine.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
A simple and memorable way to understand the function of each one. And it makes me think about the possible connection between the chakras and celestial body. What if each of our energy centers were resonating with the energy of a specific planet in in our solar system. Could cosmic energies directly influence our chakras and, consequently, our consciousness? Some esoteric systems actually make this correlation, associating, for example, the root chakra with Saturn for its connection with structure and stability.
It's a fascinating perspective that we find in various astrological and esoteric traditions. The idea that the chakras could be portals that connect us to the specific energies of the planets is a line of thought that explores the interconnection between the macrocosm and the microcosm.
It's incredible how different systems of knowledge, from spirituality to astrology, seek to understand our connection to the universe. But Neil's journey took him even further, to the exploration of the so-called subtle planes, dimensions of reality that coexist with our physical world but vibrate at different frequencies.
Exactly. The subtle planes are like layers of reality, beyond our immediate sensory perception. It is believed that these planes are inhabited by diverse forms of consciousness, including spirits, spirit guides, and other entities. Some scientists even speculate that the nature of dark matter and dark energy, which make up most of the universe, could be linked to the existence of these subtle planes, representing dimensions of reality that we do not yet fully understand with our current tools. We could think of these planes as parallel universes that interact with ours in subtle ways.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's follow Neil on his exploration of the astral, mental, and buddhic planes.
Okay.
Seeking to understand the knowledge he accessed in these dimensions beyond our everyday reality.
Right.
What exactly are these subtle planes, and what are the main characteristics of each one?
The subtle planes are levels of existence that are distinguished from the physical by their vibrational frequency and the nature of the consciousness that permeates them. The astral plane, often called the world of emotions or the dream world, is the first plane beyond the physical. Neil reported experiences of astral projection, where his consciousness seemed to separate from the physical body, allowing him to explore dreamlike landscape and encounter other astral entities.
On the astral plane, Neil encountered spirits and entities from other worlds. On the mental plane, he accessed universal information and knowledge. And on the buddhic plane, he experienced unconditional love and compassion. That's a good summary. Let's delve a little deeper. What did Neil specifically experience on the mental plane? Insight. Develop mental clarity through meditation and study. Seek to understand the patterns of your thoughts and how they shape your reality.
On the mental plane, reality is shaped by the power of thought. Neil learned to navigate this realm of ideas and concepts, accessing information and understanding complex principles with greater clarity. It is a plane associated with our intellectual capacity and the organization of knowledge.
Okay, and the buddhic plane. You mentioned that it's connected to the heart chakra. What were Neil's transformative experiences at this level of consciousness? Insight. Cultivate compassion and unconditional love in your relationship. Seek to see the divinity in all beings and act with kindness and empathy.
The buddhic plane is considered a plane of higher consciousness, vibrating at the frequency of unconditional love, joy, and unity. Neil's experiences on this plane were deeply transformative, providing a feeling of deep connection with all beings and a sense of cosmic peace and harmony.
And besides these three, are there other planes, such as the causal and celestial planes? What do they represent in terms of consciousness and experience?
The causal and celestial planes are considered even higher levels of subtle existence. The causal plane is linked to the primordial causes of all that happened, to wisdom and the deepest purpose. The celestial plane is often described as a realm of light, joy, and bliss. Experiences on these planes would be of an even more abstract and transcendental nature, offering glimpses into the very nature of ultimate reality.
A truly extraordinary journey of Neil. And for those of you who are with us, have you ever wondered if it is also possible to explore these subtle planes? Astral projection is a technique often mentioned in this context. From a neuroscience perspective, what is known about these experiences? Could our mind be capable of creating realities so vivid that they are confused with physical experience?
From a neuroscience perspective, experiences such as astral projection are often interpreted as altered states of consciousness, similar to lucid dreaming. During these states, brain activity changes, and the person may have the feeling of being outside the physical body, exploring virtual environments created by the mind itself. The boundary between internal perception and external reality becomes more fluid. This raises interesting questions about the nature of our consciousness and the potential of our brains to generate complex and vivid experiences.
A reflection that humbles us before the complexity of our own minds. But it's important to remember that Neil's journey was not limited to these mystical experiences. He also applied the knowledge he gained to serve others and seek a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. The true measure of spiritual evolution lies in how we live our lives and in our ability to love, serve, and contribute to the collective well-being.
Now, a brief pause for an important reminder. If you're finding this exploration of the soul fascinating, don't forget to subscribe to the Quantum Soul channel. Leave your like on this video and share it with your friends who are also interested in these mysteries of consciousness. Your interaction helps us bring this knowledge to more people.
Right, and remember, the journey of self-discovery is a marathon, not a sprint. Every insight, every little change contributes to your growth.
Yes. Getting back to our conversation, how can we apply these profound insights from Neil's journey in our daily lives? How can we use the knowledge of the chakras and subtle planes to live more fully, consciously, and aligned with our true potential?
The practical application of these insights begins with integrating contemplative practices into our routine. Neil cultivated daily meditation, seeking inner silence to connect with his own essence. Practices such as gratitude, cultivating compassion, selfless service, and reflecting on our values are important steps in integrating spirituality into our daily lives. Remember that spiritual evolution is a continuous journey, process of constant awakening.
This idea that we are already enlightened beings, just needing to awaken to our true nature, resonates with many spiritual traditions. Would enlightenment be less about acquiring something new and more about removing the illusions that obscure us?
That's the essence of perennial philosophy, which postulates that all great spiritual traditions share the same fundamental truth about the nature of reality and our inherent divine potential. Enlightenment, in this perspective, would be a process of unremembering false identifications and recognizing our true nature, which is pure consciousness and unity.
And Neil discovered that spirituality is not just about transcendental experiences, but also about how we live, how we treat others, and how we contribute to the world. Compassion and service to others became pillars of his journey. Could helping others also be a way of helping ourselves on a deeper level?
Absolutely. Compassion and service are powerful avenues for spiritual growth. By dedicating ourselves to the well-being of others, we transcend our self-centered focus and connect with our shared humanity. From a psychological point of view, acts of altruism have been associated with an increase in happiness and well-being, suggesting that there is a deep interconnection between our personal development and our ability to contribute to the world.
Now, let's address some of the questions we've received from you, our viewers, about how to apply these insights in your own life. Many questions revolve around how to start working with the chakras, how to access the subtle planes, how to integrate service as a spiritual path, and how to balance spiritual development with ethics and moral.
As we mentioned before, we believe that the wisdom to answer these questions lies within you. Each of you possesses a powerful intuition, an inner voice that can guide you on your unique journey. Humanistic psychology reminds us of our inherent potential for self-knowledge and self-realization. Trust your own inner compass.
One of the most common questions is, where do I start working with my chakras?
A simple and effective way to start is through chakra-focused meditation. Set aside a few minutes daily to connect with your breath and visualize the color associated with each chakra, starting with red at the base of the spine and going up to violet at the top of the head. Feel the vibrant energy in each center. Neil used guided meditations early in his journey, which can be a useful tool for those starting out.
Another common question is about the subtle planes. What are they and how can we access them?
The subtle planes are dimensions of reality beyond our physical world. Neil accessed these planes through deep meditation and the practice of astral projection. To begin exploring these states, cultivate inner stillness through meditation and develop your intention. The practice of lucid dreaming can also be a gateway to altered states of consciousness.
How can we integrate service as a meaningful spiritual path in our lives?
Neil's example, with his work as a psychologist, shows us how we can integrate our talents and passions with the desire to serve. Start with small acts of kindness in your everyday life. Look for volunteering opportunities in your community, or simply offer support and attentive listening to those around you.
And how can we balance our spiritual growth with the development of our morals and ethics?
Neil emphasized that spiritual awakening does not automatically guarantee ethical conduct. It is essential to cultivate self-awareness, reflect on our actions and intentions, and strive to live according to our highest values. The pursuit of integrity is an essential component of the spiritual journey. Insight. Practice daily self-reflection. Ask yourself if your actions are aligned with your values and if you are acting with kindness and integrity.
A beautiful reflection to end this part of our journey. Now, let's recap the main points of our immersion and leave a final message to inspire you in your own spiritual quest.
In this deep dive, we followed Neil's inspiring journey, exploring his spiritual evolution through an understanding of the chakras and subtle planes. We saw how he worked with each of his energy centers, how he accessed different dimensions of reality, how he integrated service to others as a fundamental aspect of his path, and the importance of balancing spiritual growth with a strong sense of ethics.
We reinforced that Neil's story is not just a fascinating narrative, but a practical and inspiring guide for all of us who seek greater awareness and soul evolution.
So to work with the chakras, start by meditating and visualizing each one. To access the subtle planes, cultivate deep meditation and explore techniques such as astral projection and lucid dreaming. To integrate service as a spiritual path, look for opportunities to help others in your daily life. And to balance spiritual development with moral development, live according to your values and seek integrity in all your actions.
And remember, self-acceptance is a fundamental step in this journey. Learning to love and forgive yourself is essential before we can extend that love and forgiveness to others.
Yes, unconditional self-acceptance is a powerful catalyst for transformation. By embracing our imperfections with compassion, we open space for growth and for a deeper connection with our true essence. We can even ask ourselves if the acceptance of who we are in this moment, with all our qualities and challenges, wouldn't be the first glimpse of enlightenment.
Now is your time to embark on your own journey of self-discovery. Reflect on the questions we raised throughout this conversation. Do you feel there is something more beyond the reality we perceive? How have you been dealing with life's challenges, seeking learning and growth? What spiritual or self-knowledge practices have you already explored?
And in the face of everything we have explored, a powerful question arises. What if we told you that you are also capable of all this and much more? That you are an unlimited being, an expanding universe, a divine spark of infinite potential. Quantum physics tells us about the vast field of possibilities that permeates the universe. Do we not also carry within us an unlimited potential to create our reality through our mind and our intention?
We want to hear about your journey. Leave a comment below sharing your experiences, reflections, and questions. Share this video with those who might be interested in this exploration of spirituality, science, and mystery. And don't forget to subscribe to the Quantum Soul channel so you don't miss the next contents we have prepared for you. Remember, soul evolution is a continuous journey, and each step you take brings you closer to a higher state of consciousness.
Stay tuned. Our next video will bring even more practical tools and techniques for you to integrate these insights into your daily life.
To further deepen your knowledge and take the first steps on your journey of transformation, access the link in the first pinned comment below and download our exclusive ebook on awakening consciousness through the chakras. In it, you will find practical exercises and guided meditations to balance your energy centers.
And don't forget to check out the 2 videos that are appearing now on your screen. Click on one of them to continue your journey of self-knowledge and spiritual evolution.
And remember, the evolution of the soul is a never-ending journey, and each step you take brings you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the universe. Until next time, keep exploring, learning, and evolving.
We deeply appreciate your company on this fascinating exploration.